You know how they say happiness and laughter is infectious? Well, the same goes for the other way around, which is why the 10th law in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene is to avoid the unhappy and the unlucky. And for those of you who are new here, my 48 Laws of Power series is designed for you to understand the law so that you could use it yourself in a non-devious way that helps people, and yourself mostly, but to also protect yourselves from others using it in a devious way against you. And to be honest with you, there's no gaining power over other people with this law. This is just honestly a really big fact of life and a really big lesson that everyone should understand. I've been around people who are unhappy and unlucky, and we could get into the whole energy thing about it, but even just aside from that, just to go into the bare basics, that's contagious, man. Like, it's really bad. Like, I've been in and out of situations of being around unhappy and unlucky people, and lucky people and happy people, so optimistic versus pessimistic people. And I've seen a lot, and I've gone through my own cycles. Like, years ago, I was in a situation where I was just around all gossip and people looking at stuff negatively. And I saw, at least after I got out of that situation and started thinking more positively and better, I saw that I got dragged into that. And it affected how I thought. And it made me unhappy and unlucky for a time being. And then I found myself in it again. Like, just being around people who complain, it makes you complain more. It makes you more likely to complain. And I recognized that at one point. So I've tried to stay away from that kind of thing. And you can't always avoid it. You have to build up your mental fortitude to it, where you know you're going into a situation with someone who complains. You get that mental, you get in that mental state where you're almost unbothered by anything, and you just don't react to it, and you just nod them to death and do whatever you got to say, do whatever, just don't engage in that and continuing to do that, because that shit's like cancer and it'll infect you. But that situation's only temporary, so when you get yourself back out, you just cleanse all that stuff out of you. You're just like, boop, done. Get it out of your head, get it out of your body, everything. And I'm not gonna lie, I've been in a situation recently where that's been impossible. Like, previous situation, once I got out of that and had time away, realized that the unhappiness and unluckiness was infectious, and then went back in, I had that Zen mindset, and I knew going into it that it's like, all right, so for tonight, since I'm here, you got to be this way. You got to just let that stuff, put a shield up, let that stuff bounce off you. To be honest with you, it doesn't concern you. Why does the gossip about all this stuff matter? It's just stupid. But I did also recognize that you need time away from it, because after a while, it's like an army outside of your wall, and they keep on battering it down. It doesn't matter what your wall is made of. Eventually, it's going to wear it away. And I caught myself in that at one point, and then realized that I was the one complaining more than everyone. And I was like, oh, hold on a second. We know we're not supposed to do this. And I had to pull myself out, pull myself back for a moment, refine my center, and rehab myself out of that. I had to catch myself when I was complaining or being unhappy, and had to ask myself why. Like, why was I being unhappy? Because realistically, it was just a temporary thing, and there was no need for me to be unhappy about anything. It's like, yeah, shit sucks, things happen sometimes, but why be unhappy about it? Unless it's like ridiculously life-changing, and even then, be unhappy about it for a little bit and move forward, because there's always the ability to go forward and continue on and do better things. When it comes to unlucky, this one's a hard one to explain to people, because I see it in more of an energetic and or spiritual kind of way, where some people just have that bad aura around them. They have a bad vibration, and that's also contagious. Like, if you're around that enough, it lowers you down to that level. And one, just being unhappy is the same way, but being unlucky. If they're always saying that bad things happen to them, and it's like, oh God, like stay away from me, or I gotta now think that and have that mindset of good things always happen to me. There's honestly no other way I couldn't think to put it, because on an energetic or superstitious level, that's how it is. Otherwise, if you think it in any other way, it makes no sense. Luck doesn't really make sense unless you believe in spirituality or superstition or anything, or think that there's an energy like acting outside of us or through us in that way, if that makes sense. But anyways, I think I've talked about that one enough. Once again, my name is Brendan. This is The Lost Tribe. If you like this content, please hit that like button. Leave a comment down below what you think about this law, or if there's anything else you want me to cover. And since you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. Once again, Brendan, Lost Tribe. Peace out.